Hello viewers, this is At Home Auto Repair and I'm back. Today I'm going to show you how to solve a very common BMW problem. Here we have a BMW ashtray. The door is spring loaded, yet it just does not stay shut. Today I'm going to show the average viewer how to solve this problem with no parts, limited tools, and limited mechanical expertise. For this repair, you're going to need a plastic trim removal tool. If you don't have this, don't worry, it's not necessary. Needle nose pliers, side cutters, a T10 Torx bit, or a T10 Torx screwdriver. If you do not have a T10 Torx bit or a T10 Torx screwdriver, you can use an Allen wrench, 2 millimeters, a drill, a 1/18 inch drill bit, and a large paper clip. Step 1, we're going to remove the ashtray. To do this, we simply grab the edge, pull it out, and place it somewhere that it's not going to spill. Step 2, we must apply the emergency brake. This is necessary because we're going to be putting the car in neutral and we don't want it to roll. Step 3, we're going to need to put the car into neutral. In order to do this, we need the key in the car. We need the car to be in accessory mode. Then we need to apply the brake, and then we can put the car back into neutral, and then we can turn the car off. Step 3, we're going to remove the shift knob. This is done simply with 2 hands by using a good deal of force and pulling straight up. Next, we're going to remove the shifter boot. This step is optional, but I find it much easier to remove the shifter trim if the shift boot is removed. The shift boot is held in with 5 clips, one here, 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 and here. The easiest way to remove the shift boot is not to try to pry the clips, but rather to take 2 fingers and squeeze the top right here. The next step is to remove the shifter trim. The easiest way to do this is to take your thumb and pointer finger to locate the tab here, to pull backwards on that tab, which allows this edge to raise, and then to gently pull backwards. Do not remove this piece as there are 2 electrical connectors on the back side. Now that the trim ring is removed, you have 2 options. You can either choose to remove the 2 electrical connectors located here and here. This task proves to be frustrating and can sometimes lead to breaking the connectors. Your other option is to leave them connected and to take the console out without disconnecting this piece. In order to do that, all you have to do is push the car back into park, raise this up, turn this, lift this here, and this will allow you to lift the console without disconnecting the wires. Make sure that you don't put any undue force on the connectors or the wires. Now that the car is back in park, we can release the emergency brake. We can now remove the console. The console is held on with 6 clips located here, 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 and here. Very commonly, people will pull up on this and they'll break one of these 2 clips. The first step to removing the console trim is to open the center console armrest. If you have a trim removal tool, you may insert it here, here, and here, prying up gently to release this side of the console. If you do not have a trim removal tool, you can take your pointer finger and thumb, insert them in the middle of the center console storage compartment, pulling up. This will release these clips here. Now, the console is free to slide out diagonally backwards. However, there is an electrical connector here which needs to be released before the console trim can be completely removed. Our next step is to raise this up and slide it back to expose the electrical connector located here. The electrical connector can be disconnected by depressing the tabs on either end of the electrical connector and gently wiggling as you pull backwards. The console trim can now be removed from the vehicle so that the ashtray can be serviced in a place with ample light and space. Next step is to remove the ashtray assembly from the console trim. In order to do this, you will need a T10 Torx bit or T10 screwdriver. If you do not have a T10 Torx bit, you can use an Allen head. It's 2mm and it's a perfect fit. Remove the 4 T10 Torx bits located here, 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 and here. The ashtray assembly is now separated from the console. In order to understand how to fix this ashtray, you must first understand how it works. It's spring-loaded. It has one single spring that's located here and 2 hinges located here and here. The underside of this actually has nothing to do with the closing mechanism. The closing mechanism is located here. So when this lid is shut, it's supposed to have a pin that comes out here. This pin slides in here, locks there. When you push down, it goes up and exits. So it's a little loop right in here, and these pins always break off. In order to fix this problem, we need to install a new pin in the lid of the ashtray. How do we do that? Well, we use a paper clip. A large paper clip cut and bent, drilled and inserted into here will do the same thing as the stock pin, except it will last you. In order to prepare our pin, we're going to take our paper clip and our needle nose pliers. We're going to bend one side. We're going to take our side cutter pliers and we're going to cut off a leg of our paper clip. This is roughly 1 1/4 inches. It doesn't really matter. We're going to shorten it later. We're now going to take our pliers. We're going to bend the end of this paper clip over on itself, and we're going to squeeze. Our paper clip now looks like that. We're now going to take our drill equipped with a very small bit. This drill bit is 1/18 of an inch, which is slightly undersized for what we're going to be doing. We'll take our cup holder, hold the lid closed, and we're going to drill a hole right here. This hole goes all the way through this very small piece of plastic. Now, I'm going to take the pin that I made out of the paper clip and my needle nose pliers. In my dominant hand, I'm going to hold the pin and the pliers like this. In my other hand, I'm going to hold the ashtray with the lid shut. I'm going to take the pin with the end that's folded over and I'm going to insert it into the hole that I drilled in this plastic piece. Now, I'm going to take my side cutters and I'm going to cut the pin so that only a part of it is sticking out. Now that I've inserted the pin into this hole with approximately 1/4 of an inch sticking out, it's time to slide this piece to one side, open the lid so that the pin is now located in here. if your pin is too long, you'll find that it hits here, here, and here. And there's two ways to solve this problem. Number one is to push the pin a little further in, being careful not to push it too far or it will fall out the other side. The other option is to cut the pin slightly shorter. Now that our ashtray is working, we can reassemble it. The first step is to double check the wiring. This wire bundle here is held on with clip here and here. Next, we're going to take our console. The ashtray goes in like this, making sure that this tab goes into this hole. Now, we're going to reinstall our 4 T10 Torx bit screws or 2mm Allen wrench. Here, 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 and here. Please be careful not to strip these. I don't like using a drill. I would prefer that you do it by hand, but if you use the drill, use a very, very low speed. Now we're ready to reinstall the console trim inside the car. Our first step is to reconnect this wire. We're going to take the console, angle it up, rest it here. This plug only goes one direction. The flat side is towards the driver's seat. The rounded side is towards the passenger seat. So we need to take the female end of the plug, insert it into the male end of the plug, until we hear a light click. Next, we're going to angle our trim piece back up so that when we pull the console down, those two pieces will fit together. Ensure that we open our lid. Now that the console trim is in place, we want to push down here, 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 here. The console trim is now firmly in place. We can now reinstall our shifter trim. If you chose option 1 and disconnected these two electrical connectors, then they need to be reconnected now. If you did not disconnect the electrical connectors, then you're free to proceed. Like to install this trim is first by identifying these two clips located here and here, and their counterpart located here and here. And I like to lean this down and get those two clips to slide into their appropriate sockets. Now that the right two clips are in place, all I have to do is push this down in the back here, here. There's a clip here and in the front. Now, the shifter boot. The boot, again, is held on with clips here, 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 and here. There's 5 total. We're going to slide this boot down over the shift lever. I'm going to do the back first. Work our way around the edges on the clips. Then we have the shift knob. The trigger needs to face the radio. Slide this in. Bump it down. Now that the shift knob is installed, we can go ahead and we can install the ashtray insert. You now have a functional ashtray lid. The annoyance of a common BMW problem is solved. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Comment below, let me know that it was helpful, and comment and let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to see fixed.